I'm Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and today we're going to talk about account sales or buying, and in regards specifically to World of Warcraft. And I have someone with me here who you can see here on camera, but he's not very identifiable. He wishes to remain anonymous. He works in this industry, and so I'll just ask some questions and we'll see where this leads to. So tell us why we should believe anything you say about the buying of accounts and the issues that surround that.
All right. Well, let's just say I've bought a lot of accounts, and I've had many experiences in the field. I've bought accounts where they've stayed safe for years. I've bought accounts where the previous owners would take them back. I've handled these issues, and yeah, suffice to say, I've done more purchases than most people around.
Okay, so and you're not just doing this because you're buying accounts for you to play.
I play them.
You play all of them?
Yes.
How many accounts would you say that you have purchased?
That is not something I could answer.
Okay. And so we're going to run into that a few times here because...
Yeah, that's my drink.
Cats on the table. Ouch.
Okay.
Okay, so we will continue on here. There will be a few things that we're not that he is not willing to answer to try and protect his anonymity. I will, however, though I have thoroughly researched his credentials, and I do know him to be somebody who is quite knowledgeable in this area. So. Okay, so let's just move forward and say you've bought plenty of accounts. You've had some that have had issues.
That is correct.
What percentage of accounts that you've bought would you say have had issues?
I would say it would be somewhere around 1 in 15 to 1 in 20 accounts.
Okay, so we're looking at about 5 to 7.5%.
That's right. Good math.
Okay, so the with these accounts, what kind of issues are you coming across?
Well, when you buy accounts, you mainly worry about having that account with you for its entire lifetime. So you're looking at two issues, basically. One is the account being repossessed. That can be by the previous owner, or maybe you get hacked or phished, or it could also be if the account gets banned. Now, the second one, getting banned, is normally not too big of an issue. The main problem is when accounts are repossessed by their original owners. And I think we should clear up that definition of original owner. An original owner of an account is the person who created that Battle.net account initially. Mm-hmm. And it has to be in their name. So per se, if you purchased an account from someone and you transfer that character off to a new Battle.net account, you are not the original owner. It would still be that person in his real name.
Okay, so let's just say that I sold an account. I have remorse that I sold my account. I want it back. I call up Blizzard and I say, I want this account back. And they say, okay, prove you are who you say you are.
Yeah.
And do they ask for ID whenever they do that? How does that work?
Not always. If it's the first time an account, if that's the first time you had an issue with an account, Blizzard might not actually ask you for an ID. Maybe they will ask you some basic information, such as maybe the last 4 digits of a credit card you use on the account or a PayPal you once used. They might not ask for an ID straight away. But if your case looks suspicious, if they see weird IP addresses on the account, or if they've seen that this is not the first time that a claim for recovery has occurred, yes, they will ask for identification. And they will even go a few steps beyond just a simple picture of your ID.
Okay. When you buy an account, what kind of information are you asking for from the seller?
It would normally be just the basic information attached to the account. That would be the username, the password, the exact spelling of the first name and the last name, and their secret question and their answer. And the norm nowadays when it comes to purchasing accounts is that buyers would ask for a photograph of the identification of the seller.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not something that you would want to do unless you know exactly that the person you are selling to is safe.
And so this is exactly why I wanted to get you on camera here and talk about this, because I think this is a real issue. This is something that is potentially very risky to the seller.
Yeah, it is. And I'm just surprised that there are so many people out there who are willing to give out their IDs to random strangers. I mean, if you sell to a very reputable person, either someone who's well-known online in trading forums or to a website, your ID might be safe. But if you're just selling to some random person on the internet, you might not know where that ends up.
But when someone sells to, let's say, a site that resells accounts, does that ID not continue on to the new owner?
It depends on the website. I've seen some who even advertise that the accounts they sell come with the ID.
Wow.
Now, I'm not sure if they have that person's consent or not. But yeah, there are legit sites out there who, if you give them their ID, it's never going to go anywhere.
So here's what I got these red flags going off here.
Yeah.
And they are saying, oh my God, if someone had my ID, even a photocopy of my ID, what kind of havoc could they wreak with me in identity theft?
Oh, well, you would probably know more about that than me just because, I mean, you live here. I don't live here, so... I mean, I've heard horror stories about what people do with people's social security numbers, pull out loans with their name, or... Yeah, but... Yeah, you would know more, though, but yeah, from what I hear, you can do pretty bad stuff with people's IDs.
Have you heard of people making fake IDs in order to recover accounts?
Oh, yes, yes.
I just think that all of this sounds very, very risky to the seller.
Yeah, I think for all parties. I mean, forging IDs, isn't that a federal offense?
I don't know.
You should know.
I've never tested it. I've never forged any.
But yeah, no, I just think that in my opinion, it's just going too far, for a game, and to forge an ID, that's just way beyond.
You as someone who buys accounts, does that not happen to you, to where people just recall them just because they want to?
Yeah.
Not even because there's anything wrong.
Well, when people take back accounts, recall, they just wanted financial gain in the first place. When they sold it, they just intended to make easy money. Because basically what it is, after they've received the money over PayPal or whatever payment method they used, and after you're over that period where you can dispute your payment, they're pretty much on the green. They're safe to take their accounts back. We should address the question, though. I think what you asked me earlier was whether or not it's safe to purchase second-hand accounts, meaning accounts that an original owner already sold his account to someone and that person is trying to sell it again. Well, the short answer is no. It would definitely be way better to buy it from the first owner, because what happens a lot in these online trading communities is that when you're not buying from the original owner, there's no way for you to tell how many hands it's been through.
Right.
It might be second hand, it might be on the 7th or 8th hand, or I've even seen accounts that have been owned by more than a dozen people. And when you buy an account that's not originally owned, that risk just increases exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
So when and if someday you lose your account, you wouldn't know who to point your finger on.
You have no recourse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially if there's been an ID attached to it through this long chain, any one of them could have used that copy of the ID to recall it. So your risk goes up exponentially.
Right, yeah. You could still get scammed even before you get the account. Let's say you pay the money, the person runs off. Because there's always that chicken and egg game before you buy an account. If neither party has reputation, who's going to go first? Are you going to pay first and expect the account information to come after? Or are you going to do it the other way around? It's really iffy, and people are really reluctant to go first.
I do have one nagging question.
Go on.
And it's, how would I buy or sell a World of Warcraft account without violating the terms of service?
I don't think you can. Well, honestly, I've actually never even fully read the terms of service. I mean, who does? But
I have.
Have you? But yeah, I mean, they would say that you're not allowed to. I mean, as far as I would think, they would say you're not allowed to trade anything in game with real money. So I guess if you want to buy an account, I guess don't use money. Use something else.
Okay. Well, I think it's still a violation of the terms. I actually think that you can't even transfer it to another person's name.
That's right, yeah. In most cases, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time to sit down for this interview and your wisdom on this. And I guess that's about it. So thank you very much.
Well, I hope that's helpful, and you're welcome.
Okay. Thank you. And all of you, take care.